few miles inside the Macedonian border. There is no official word as to exactly what happened, but the Pentagon says it is possible that the three are now prisoners of war.
4 New York City police officers charged with murder are out on bail tonight. The officers pled not guilty to those murder charges today while huge crowds gathered outside the courthouse. The officers are accused in the shooting death of an unarmed African immigrant last month. One of the officers' attorneys is now blasting the criminal justice process.
Almost every politician in this city is bending to the public pressure created by Sharpton. It's getting to the point where Sharpton cracks his whip and every politician says, how high shall I jump?
The attorney there referring to activist Reverend Al Sharpton. In court, the defense described what happened the night of the shooting. Police officers said they fired several shots at the suspect because they thought one of the officers had been shot by him. Instead, the officer had accidentally fell to the ground as he fired his gun. A power outage this morning left some people in Fairport in the dark for a short time. And here's why. 2 towers that hold high voltage power lines fell over, igniting an explosion and fire. Overnight, a car slammed into the base of one of the towers, knocking it loose. A tow truck was called in early this morning to remove the car, and that's when the tower partially fell. NYMO crews are still working on the repairs. Meantime, there's no word whether charges will be filed against the driver who hit the tower.
People living in near 2 state prisons in Livingston County sounded off at a town meeting tonight. Their concern being notified when an inmate escapes from prison. News Source 13's Norma Holland tells us how a glitch during a February escape is prompting prison officials to make some changes.
Money doesn't answer everything if somebody gets hurt.
It was through the grapevine that Chris Sobel learned a prisoner had escaped from a work detail at the Livingston Correctional Facility last month. Instead of worrying, she waited to be notified by police, but the call never came, and her calls were never directly answered.
It's like they just kept passing me around, and there was no notification yet, and I have call waiting, so it wasn't as if they couldn't get a hold of me.
Turns out the prison was short-staffed the day of the escape and couldn't make its usual rounds of notification calls. The inmate was caught, but the incident unleashed anger among neighbors. Tonight they met with state prison officials to suggest ways to make things better. Sirens, a better phone chain system, and a community hotline number were all proposed, and all of them will be considered.
We all got children. Nowadays, you don't know what's going on. They can say, well, this person isn't violent, that person isn't violent, but how do we know? In our own hearts, we don't know.
The meeting is the first of its kind in this community in years, and by the looks of it, both sides learned something new about the balance of law enforcement and a sense of community. Norma Holland, News Source 13.
Some of the proposals are already being put to use. Instead of 1 prison worker making notification calls, now there will be 8. And an advisory board made up of residents and prison officials is being created.
Some new procedures could mean longer lines at the DMV. That's what some of New York's county clerks are saying tonight. Starting tomorrow, the state will process all registration renewals. They used to be handled by the county clerk's offices. The state says it will save taxpayers $3 million. County clerks say it means their offices will lose millions of dollars and long lines at the DMV will be created.
The Passover holiday is underway. It began at sundown tonight with the Seder. The traditional meal is a feast to recall the ancient Israelites' escape from slavery in Egypt. In observance of the holiday, Jews do not eat any foods that are made with yeast. The Passover holiday will last for 1 week.
Bill is here now checking out a blue moon or what?
Well, yeah, I got an interesting email. I have always thought that the blue moon is the second full moon in a month. Now there is some controversy there. Say that the original definition was the 3rd full moon in a season which has 4 full moons. All right, because the other moons are actually called like harvest moon, things like that. So there is some controversy. I'm not sure what is what is correct. So we're going to go until I know definitely different. It's the second full moon, and we'll call it that. And what the heck, it's there. Enjoy it. Let's take a look at our forecast for tomorrow. High temperature will be 63 degrees. We will see some scattered rain showers during the day, but I'm really not looking for much in the way of rain. Some of us will see some showers. I suspect some of us will not. Skies, however, I think for the most part will be cloudy during the day, And as I said, our high temperature will be 63 degrees. Right now, skies are still mostly clear. Our temperature is at 52. Winds right now are from the south. Humidity up a bit. It was as low as about 14 to 15 to 16% during the times today. That's very, very dry air mass out there. Our pressure continues to rise, and our dew point right now is at 27. Let's take a look at some of the high temperatures across the area today. Around the neighborhood, 77, a little bit warm. We'll get some little heat, extra heat from somewhere down there. The actual high was about 72 to 73 degrees downtown, 72 down in Canandaigua, a bit cooler over in Batavia. Everybody else, as you can see, in the 70s. A very pleasant day out there today. We will cool off somewhat tomorrow. It will not be this warm for several days, but again, we're going to continue with this spring-like trend that we seem to have started over the last few days. Neighborhood weather spotters calling in now. Spencerport at 50 degrees, Holly at 54, Ontario's at 56, Rush at 46, Byron at 44, Caledonia now at 43 degrees. A bit cooler from Palmyra, 38 degrees. That is not unusual. There are some colder pockets out here in Wayne County for some reason. We quite often see the folks out there, not just Palmyra, but Newark, a little bit cooler than everybody else because with these clear skies, of course, we're losing some of that heat that we did build up during the day today into the nighttime sky. Officially at the airport, our high 71 degrees. Low last night was 40. Normal temperatures for this date, 48 and 31. There's a system back to the west, of course, causing some rain and snow in the higher elevations. Here is the system that really, I think, will bring some moisture in here for the day tomorrow. We're sort of going to catch the northern fringes of this, and that's why I'm looking for scattered showers, not a steady, constant rain during the day. As the system does push through here, we'll see some minor clearing off and on, maybe some glimpses of the sun at times during the day tomorrow. It will be warm. Temperatures again tomorrow will be up into the 60s. Now, there's a lot of moisture with this system. Notice how solid it is. But then watch what happens as it starts to hit the high pressure and the drier air. It shows signs of breaking up. So as it does push in here, the showers will become widely scattered. We said kind of hit and miss, off and on showers during the day tomorrow. Most of the time tomorrow will be rain-free, but there will be some showers around. High pressure, we're really trying to hold everything back, but there's a system to the north, another one to the south. Between the two of them, of course, they will bring some clouds in here during the day. And I think the further south, actually, that you head in our viewing area, I think you have even a better chance of seeing some showers tomorrow and maybe even a little bit more rain. For Friday, front pushes to the south, still cloudy skies. We'll call it a mixture of sunshine and clouds with some scattered showers in here during the day on Friday. And, of course, as we get into this colder sector, our temperatures on Friday will certainly not be as warm as they were today. 47, our low temperature tonight. Winds will be from the southwest. For tomorrow, we'll start with that mixture of sunshine and clouds at about 50 degrees. 59, then by the noon hour, some widely scattered showers. By 5 o'clock, 63. Here again, at least the risk of a rain shower. The winds a little bit lighter than they have been over the last few days for Friday. Also look for scattered showers and 58 degrees for Saturday. 59, we will see some rain on Saturday. And Sunday looks like it's going to be rain-free, but certainly it will be cooler at 53 degrees. And still, even with that 53-degree reading on Sunday, that is actually above the average temperature. And also this weekend, Saturday night, before you go to bed, remember to set your clocks ahead 1 hour and change the batteries in your smoke detectors.
It'll be light a lot longer than starting.
It will be. We'll add an hour of daylight. Well, at the tail end, not in the morning.
Yeah.
Actually, but yeah.
We'll lose a little sleep over the weekend.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. It's the downside of it all.
Yeah.
But we'll get it back in the fall.
You got it.
Thank you, Bill.
Coming up, a judge has punished a woman for bad-mouthing her ex-husband. That story's still ahead.
And we'll have your $3 million live lottery drawing.
Next, we hear from a woman who says she was held hostage and chained to a fence near this trailer.
And later, the new Bay Outlet Bridge is gone away again, but only for the summer.
Then in sports, a big night in hockey. I'm Mike Catalano. We'll have Sabres and Amherst highlights, and the Nazareth Lacrosse team looks to pick up another win. That comes up after the lottery numbers.
This portion of News Source 13 is brought to you by the new Lowers.
Get ready for Same as Cash. In Rochester, this factory closeout sale will be conducted only at Clover on Ridge Road in Arundecourt.
You're watching News Source 13 at 11 with Don Alhart, Jenny Ryan, Chief Meteorologist Bill Peterson, and Mike Catalana on sports. News News Source 13. More local news, more local experience.
They're being called heroes. 5 Rochester police officers were honored tonight for their heroic acts. Among those honored were Officers Thomas DeFonte, Mark DeBelka, and Sergeant Michael Kozak. The 3 were shot last December after responding to a domestic dispute. Also honored tonight, Officer Ken Caniglio and Investigator Thomas Picanti.
Police now say a couple in New Mexico could be responsible for several abductions across the country. That story tops our look at world and national news in tonight's News Watch. Officers are now digging around a trailer for evidence. They say there may be murder victims there. Police believe the couple abducted victims, chained them outside, and sexually abused them.
They had me strapped down with chains on my hands, my feet, and they put a metal collar on me with a chain hanging from it.
So far, no victims have been found. In Miami, major brush fires are burning. So far, more than 100 acres have been burned. And Jean Patchen's neighbors are a little upset. She's keeping her horse, Alex, in her garage. Some neighbors say the horse has to go. You see, Jean had a dispute with the stable where she kept the horse, so she built a stable for Alex in her garage. It appears now the whole dispute will well end up in court. And that's a look at tonight's News Watch. By the way, that's down in Orlando, Florida, so Alex is not too close to home.
No, but he's in a warmer climate.
That's true, that's true.
When we come back, tonight's live $3 million lotto drawing.
First, though, we take a look at Wall Street. Some ground to regain when the opening bell sounds tomorrow. The Dow off 127 points today on news of higher interest rates. The NASDAQ lost 19 points. The S&P 500 down about 14.
This portion of News Source 13 is brought to you by Raymore and Flanagan.
Enjoy instant rebates on any mattress set you want right now at Raymore and Flanagan Furniture. We pass savings from...
Come celebrate the grand opening savings at today's Burlington Coat Factory. We're more than great coats.
My mama told me you better shop around.
And now we take a look at the daily and win 4 numbers from your New York State Lottery. The daily number today is 223. The win 4 combination is 4247. 223 is the daily, and 4247 the win 4 combination. $3 million in our lotto jackpot for tonight. So get your tickets ready. Let's take you live to Schenectady for tonight's live drawing.
Good evening, I'm Yolanda Vega. Welcome to the live drawing of the new lotto game for Wednesday, March 31st, being observed by an auditor from KPMG. Tonight, you could win or share a jackpot of $3 million. With only 51 balls in the mixing chamber, your odds of winning are better than ever. And there are 3 more prize levels, which means more winners. The new lotto has bigger jackpots and more prizes. Check it out. Tonight's winning lotto numbers are 39, 20, 8, 34, 29, 31, and bonus number 15, making Wednesday, March 31st winning lotto numbers 39, 20, 8, 34, 29, 31, and bonus number 15. Thank you for joining us, and have a good night.
Now's the time to let Pace replace your old windows with energy efficient. Take your time and make the right decision. Call Pace today at 924-8350 and save $75 on each durable and maintenance-free vinyl window you buy. It pays to replace with Pace.
Now, News Source 13 Sports, named Best Sportscast in the state for the 2nd consecutive year by the New York State Broadcasters Association.
They do call it the home ice advantage, right? That's what teams like the Amerks are supposed to fight for. But with 5 losses in their last 8 at the War Memorial, the Amerks were in need of some good home cooking. Tonight, we see if they got it. Someone in the stands wearing, of all things, a John Bednarski jersey. The Amerks announcer appears to be looking for more. Sorry, John, just the one. Keep looking. In the game, Amerks down 1-0, and as Dominic Pittis stopped, but Craig Fisher there on the rebound to get the game even at 1. Then it is Fisher helping out Pittis. Later in the second, the good feed and the goal. It's 2-1 Rochester. You like that one, you'll like this one more. It is Fisher again with the fans cheering him on, feeding it to Pittis, who takes it in. The great goal to make it 3-1. Then with the score 4-2 in the third, it is Pittis again for the hat trick, going coast to coast, his 3rd of the game, 34th of the year. He ties for the league lead. Pittis and the Amerks get the win tonight. The final score 5-2. Look at that. The Amerks stayed out of the penalty box just one tonight for 2 minutes, but it was that top line that got it done tonight.
Well, I mean, look at the talent level that's there, and you know, they complement each other pretty well. You know, Fish and Dom have been playing together for most of the year, and Rasmussen offers a little bit more of a physical game.
You know, the addition of Eric Rasmussen is key. You know, he adds you know, that grit and that you know, that muscle on the wing, and he gives us room out there. And you know, Craig's coming into his own again. He's you know, he's changed his style a bit, and now he's starting to produce points and that like he was before in previous years. And you know, I'm excited to play with those two guys.
Yeah, things work out well tonight. Up next for the Amerks, another home game Friday against St. John. Should we call him former Amerk Jean-Luc Grandpierre? Looks like he's staying with Buffalo tonight with the team in Chicago. Blackhawks first shot on goal. Dave Manson, of all people, beats Dominic Hasek. It's 1-0. But the Sabres would get even. That happens later in the first. Brian Holzinger right there with the shot. It's stopped, but on the rebound, Dixon Ward bangs it in. It is 1-1. But in the second, Hasek playing against his old team. Remember, he was a Blackhawk years ago. Can't stay on his skates here. The puck dribbles in. That goes to Bob Probert to make it 2-1. And it is late in the third. Chicago holding off Buffalo 2-1. Jersey all over Anaheim today, 7-1. Also today, the Islanders beat Florida and Detroit, getting by L.A. 2-1. A couple of teams with winning streaks meeting in Boston tonight, the NBA. The Pistons with 4 in a row and moving up fast in the East. The Celtics, 1 straight. Hey, when you're having a year like Boston's having, you accentuate the positive. Pistons coach Alvin Gentry wasn't feeling sorry for the Celtics tonight, especially when Ron Mercer makes a nice move like this one for the bucket, 2 of his 16. But the Pistons played with great balance tonight. Lindsey Hunter was their leading scorer. Watch him make the steal, take it in alone. He had 17. Then later, it is Grant Hill, the star of the Pistons, with the post-up move. Mercer can't stop him. Celtics couldn't stop the Pistons tonight. One streak continues, one ends. Detroit wins at 87-72. Also tonight, it is Washington surprising Orlando, and Milwaukee wins in Charlotte. 4th in the nation. Sounds pretty good, but the Nazareth Lacrosse team expects more. That's what happens when you're 2-time defending national champs. We go out to Naz today. Young ones out watching on this beautiful afternoon. They took on Lycoming, Chris Corcoran, and the Flyers cruising. This goal makes it 9-3, and we're still in the first half. Then it is more offense. It's Bill Sereno. He's going to go unassisted and get the goal. It was 10-3 at the break. Nazareth wins it 25-7. And finally, you remember the movie Bad News Bears? I think the uniforms were sponsored by a bail bondsman. It could happen in the major leagues or something like it. Baseball is considering selling ad space on the players' uniforms. It's done in European soccer. It's just not done here. Can't you just see the possibilities? Maybe the Bank of New York Yankees, that would fit, or the Philadelphia brand cream cheese Phillies, or my favorite, the old Milwaukee Brewers. The ads could be on the uniforms this season. You know, I keep waiting for somebody to do that. In baseball, of course, wanting to charge to the forefront and
You
get
haven't seen the new Blazers we got for next week.
Nice,
yeah,
huh?
Little spots
13
there.
and a little ad on there. Hey, we'll sell some space,
We'll
right?
do anything we can there.
All right.
Thank
Had
you,
to
Mike.
bring it up, huh?
Well, coming up, a woman in trouble for bad-mouthing her ex-husband.
And traffic news. Some in our area may have to find another way to where they're heading.
Ford dealer and think Ford first.
You're watching News Source 13, named New York State's best newscast for the 4th consecutive year by the Associated Press, and honored with an Edward R. Murrow Award as best newscast in the nation.
Sugar and spice, everything. If there is sugar, please get it from your bed.
Hey, go spread the news. The News Source 13 Times is on its way. You could win big. Read about your favorite 13 newscasters. Your paper also has a lucky number. Send in your entry form and you could be one of the winners. Win season passes to Six Flags Darien Lake or fortune teller New York State lottery tickets. And you could be the winner of this complete system from Computer Renaissance. So go spread the news. Be a winner. Look for your entry in the News Source 13 Times.
Place, the children's place.
The state budget's due tomorrow, April 1st. For the 15th straight year, legislators won't have their work done on time. Surprise, surprise. Some privately say that the late negotiations are a good time to fight for policy. The legislature has already passed several spending bills, and members have now gone home for the Passover and Easter holiday observances. Well, no budget means no quick draw for many lottery players. The Keno-like games experiment expires just before midnight. It failed to win an extension in the state legislature in time for the budget. Fishermen are getting ready for inland trout season. It opens at sunrise tomorrow. Derbies are set for tomorrow in Naples and at Powder Mill Park. And the Irondequoit Bay Bridge will open tomorrow. The outlet is going to open tomorrow. The bridge is going to be cast aside. Traffic will be shut down at 9 o'clock in the morning. To allow the boats to go through, they can sail through at 10 o'clock. It's been 13 years since the bridge spanned the Bay outlet. The bridge will be back, though, in December, just in time for winter.
In New York City, a judge has fined a woman for bad-mouthing her ex-husband in front of the couple's teenage son. The judge said as a result, the teenager has refused to see his father for 5 years. The judge also cut the woman's alimony payments by 20%. The couple has been estranged since 1994. Final look at our forecast coming up.
As a business expense?
News Source 13 is now on radio. 7 days a week, News Source 13 is on News 1040 AM. If you can't get to your TV, let News Source 13 come to you.
Marvin wants to go to Florida so badly that he'll trade his most prized possessions to get there.
I got both your yo-yos, and you and your mom have 2 tickets to Disney World.
Adam is a musical maestro who dreams of playing a private concert for one very special guest.
Is she everything you thought she'd be, or
More. Toys, a computer, even a Caribbean cruise. These families have no idea what's in store for them. Wishes and dreams come true on the next Marv.
Maury tomorrow at 10 on 13.
Over the years, a lot of business. The house you already have, Rochester Colonial.
Another look at the April Fool's forecast.
Yes, and a bit of a fool tomorrow, too, because we'll see cloudy skies most of the day, maybe a passing rain shower, and 63 for a high. Still not bad, not bad.
All right, Bill.
We'll take it. And sports.
Yeah, Amherst with a big win tonight, and the good, the bad, and the ugly tomorrow at 6.
All right, no April Fool's jokes in there, probably.
Oh, maybe 1 or 2.
That's our report for tonight.
Nightline is next. We'll see you tomorrow.
If you see breaking news, call the News Source 13 tip line at 222-1313 or dial star 13 on your Frontier cellular phone. This is a free call. More Rochesterians get their news from News Source 13 than from any other source. News Source 13, always on at rochestertoday.com.